No, that was just an amendment to 029.
So we can leave that in the consent agenda?
Yes, that's correct.
So 030, we're looking at something?
030, I'd like to have the Township Committee consider withdrawing that until we have an opportunity to review all of these carefully.
Why are we going to withdraw 07-030?
Because we haven't yet begun to look at our budget, and before we start giving raises to everybody, I think it's more important to determine what an appropriate raise would be, and then go ahead and pass it. So I think there's no reason why we can't wait till next committee meeting, or as soon thereafter as possible, until we have an opportunity to consider this.
Mayor, if there's not going to be unanimous support of that, it has to get pulled from the consent agenda in any event, and then you can take. Then by motion,
let's vote on it.
You could vote on it, or you could move to table it, or
employees to
pull it.
Very good. Let's pull that. So now,
and we're going to vote on it separately.
excuse me. All right, please don't call out. Thank you. We're going to try to take this in an orderly fashion. So we're now considering the agendas. Was there anything else, Kevin?
Just give me a moment, I'll run through it. I don't recall anything else.
Okay, I don't think so. I think that was it. All right, so we're going to move on the consent agenda, except for 030, which we're going to pull and vote on separately.
Can I vote on 029?
I'm sorry?
Can I vote on 029?
Why?
Am I conflicted on 029?
Yeah,
Am I conflicted on 029?
Yes, I think resolutions like that, you can leave in the consent agenda, and if you would just note when you vote that you're abstaining from that resolution, rather than pulling it out and voting on it
That
separately.
specific employee or for the entire
No, just
resolution?
Just for that employee. I think if you make that clear on the record.
He could abstain
From
to the
029.
extent of his
conflict,
And
that's
so,
correct.
He could just say, with the exception of Lou Aronio, who happened to be his father.
Yes, just make it clear on the record so the minutes are clear.
And same thing for 036 with the financial depositories?
Yes.
You could vote to approve the consent agenda with the exception of 036, which you could abstain to.
That's right. You can note that's your employer.
Okay. Was there anything else, Kevin?
No.
Okay. So could I hear a motion with respect to the consent agenda, please? I'll just read this over here.
Make a motion that resolutions 07-001 through 07-035, excluding 07-030, be moved.
Second.
You said 3.5, you mean 3.8, right?
Actually, we left the items off the end that were potential conflicts, so we didn't have them in the consent
I
agenda.
think they're not in the consent. I think we have to go back and vote on those individually.
Okay.
So you can throw them in if that's the only problem.
It's only through 3.5, I think, right?
Through 3.5, then 3.
It says 3.8.
Yeah, it's 3.8.
Yeah, but the
But those are not consent. Those
Okay,
are
I
pulled
see
from
it.
the consent.
Yeah, this is not clear here.
It's
Okay.
actually in the, you want to make that again, Kevin, or did you get it?
I think we got
Go
it.
ahead.
Second,
Second.
roll call?
Mr. Aronio,
Yes, with the exception of the salary in 030 for Louis Aronio, the fire official. I abstain from that vote.
That's going to be
We're
separated.
pulling that, actually.
We're pulling that. So you're just...
I think it's the
just-
appointment
City
and
one.
appointment of 029.
That's fine. Then yes.
with the exception of 029.
Yeah, because you also, 029 also includes
As the
Mr.
officials.
Yes.
Anything involving Louis Aronio.
Correct, exactly.
There you go.
Anything involving the fire official, for the time being, I'm going to abstain from. So
Yes.
029, I'm not voting, I'm abstaining from voting on Louis Aronio for the fire official for this
Gotcha.
year. Thank you.
Mr. Briggs,
Yes, with the same exception to the fire official.
How about for the bank?
That's a separate, isn't it?
it's not on the,
Oh, that's a separate, thank you.
Mr. Collins,
Yes.
Ms. Genovese.
Yes.
Mayor Vitarera.
Yes. Okay, now I'll entertain a motion to withdraw Resolution 07030.
Do we need a motion for that, Jack, or we just pull it?
Oh, don't we just vote on it?
Well, the mayor can pull it, or somebody can
Yeah.
move to move it, or somebody can move to table it. Any way you
I
wish.
think we pull that motion. Anybody interested in voting on it? To put it back on the
Yes, I
agenda?
want to vote on it.
I'll vote.
So you got to make a motion.
I'd make a motion to approve Resolution 07-030.
Second?
Roll call.
Mr. Aronio,
It's the salary.
Yes.
You got to say, we're pulling it. So you're voting on whether to vote, accept it or not.
No.
this is the Resolution 07030.
Correct.
Mr. Briggs,
No, I'd like more time to look at the increase we saw throughout the year.
Mr. Collins,
Yes.
Ms. Genovese.
Yes.
Mayor Vitarara.
Now, we'll take this up at the next meeting. Okay.
So obviously, some of those are contractual, and they will get paid.
To be clear, we're not
Yeah.
saying no across the board. We're saying we want to review this more. We just received this recently and have not had enough time to review this.
Right. The other
There's a
thing
lot,
is,
as you can see, there's a lot of positions on there.
I've talked to Jack about that, and we shouldn't really have those contractual salaries as part of this salary ordinance. It should be, since they're contractual anyway, we shouldn't be voting on them.
Well, they should be part of the salary ordinance, in my opinion, but if the specific salaries as set forth in the contracts are in the ordinance, then there's no need to have a follow-up resolution.
Thank you for clarifying that. So now we have resolutions 036. Everybody there?
Yes.
Hey, Mr. Collins, would you like to handle that motion?
Resolution 07-036, designating the official depositories.
Second? Second.
Okay. Mr. Aronio,
Yes.
Mr. Briggs,
Abstain.
Mr. Collins,
Yes.
Ms. Genovese.
Yes.
Mayor Vitarara.
Yes. Mr. Briggs, could you handle 037?
A motion for Resolution 07037, designating authorized bank accounts.
Second.
Roll call.
Mr. Aronio,
Yes.
Mr. Briggs,
Abstain.
Mr. Collins,
Yes.
Ms. Genovese.
Yes.
Mayor Vitarara.
Yes. Jerry, would you like to handle 038, please?
Yes. Resolution 07038, authorizing and directing the transfer of accounts.
Any second? Second.
Mr. Aronio,
Yes.
Mr. Briggs,
Abstain.
Mr. Collins.
Yes.
Ms. Genovese.
Yes.
Mayor Vitarara.
Yes.